Hey again everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another installment in our new figure showcase series. And again, this is the retro edition where we take a look at an older figure that I've had in the collection for a little bit and I'm finally getting the chance to unbox. So we're sticking to the MCU. I know it's probably boring to some of you, but I am a big Marvel fan. So we're sticking to the MCU and to Avengers Endgame, and we're going to be taking a look at Smart Hulk. This is not people's favorite version of the Hulk, right? For me, as someone who loves the MCU, having the original version from Avengers, the Gladiator version from Thor Ragnarok. I did skip the Avengers in Age of Ultron version, but for me, it's a natural progression to the character, so I like having that kind of in the collection. And I enjoyed Smart Hulk in the movie. Is he the Savage Hulk we're used to seeing, or that just carries out mayhem and destruction? Absolutely not, right? It's a different version of the character, so I can appreciate it for what it is, right? And I think it's got definitely as a result the best looking sculpt that looks more closely associated with Bruce Banner, right? As opposed to the other ones that they're a little bit more changed and savage looking. This is Smart Hulk, so it makes sense that it's just an evolution, a stronger evolution of the Bruce Banner character, and he does stand shorter than those Hulk figures. So there are definitely key differences that we saw in the movie, and that I think we've seen in the previous versions of the character. But overall, had to have him, right? It's a pivotal movie, Avengers Endgame, and he does have some critical moments in that movie as well that really stand out, from the moment he snaps everyone into existence, because he's the only character powerful enough to do so and survive. So appropriately enough, what do we get from Hot Toys? We get a display stand that he doesn't need, right? He stands pretty well on his own. You get a couple of versions of the gauntlet, the nano gauntlet. One of them, which is like looking like it's deploying. You get some glasses, you get a tablet, and you get some spare hands. So pretty bare bones, but again, there's enough here that you can play and you can manipulate the figure enough to get some decent poses out of him. Now, jumping into the accessories, we'll start with the hands. Nothing major here. You're only getting two hands that can be used to hold some of the accessories. It's got that nice green designation as well, with the fingers, and then the purple glove that kind of connects to his bodysuit. So nicely done overall for Hot Toys here. Then you do get a pair of glasses, which I like. I know that I intend to use them. They're really well done with some plastic lenses as well. Very simple looking, but it's what we saw in the movie, right? So we can't fault Hot Toys for going simple on those. And then you do get this basically iPad tablet that has a decal of the nano gauntlet on it. So just to show a Smart Hulk basically using computers and still retaining that Bruce Banner genius level mindset. It's kind of nice to have. Now, I think for me, the biggest accessory that it's great that we're getting is, again, that nano gauntlet, and you're getting it in two versions. You're getting it with the Infinity Stones already on, but it's almost in that deployed version where Bruce is about to put his hand in, and the gauntlet starts opening up to basically increase in size for his hand. So the detail work here on all the panels, kind of showing you that happening, is pretty nice. And then you do get the version of the gauntlet that he would use to snap everyone back into existence, already preset in the snap position with all the gems. There is a light up feature here. Again, it's button cell battery, which look, at this point, if you've had any figures that use button cells, you know that they last a fraction of a time, right? And it's more of a hassle, especially if you have them in the display, to try to turn these on. So not worth it for me, but very key accessory to have. Now, as far as the figure itself, starting with the sculpt, what's there to say? I think this looks like Smart Hulk from the movie. I think there's a big benefit whenever Hot Toys has these CGI characters. I think it's easier for them to convert it to a sculpt, so I'm not surprised that this is exactly what it should be, right? That this looks so good, as good as it does. From the eyes to the wrinkling to the gray on the temples, it looks like the Hulk version of Bruce Banner, right, as opposed to the Savage Hulk. So for this figure, looks fantastic. Now, the rest of it, he is a bulky, heavy figure. He doesn't have the mass that we've seen before with the other versions of the Hulk from Hot Toys. And he shouldn't, right? He's a different version of that character. Um, I do like the suit. It's a little funky, especially the fact that he's got it tied down around the feet. I didn't like that design feature. That's just me. But otherwise, it's got that purple and gray, which is always a decent combination with the different grays paneling. Very simple. It's literally a jacket and some pants, right? And then it has those gloves that go over the hands. Poses nicely, but again, I this is not a figure that for me I have any intention of doing anything ultra dynamic with. But it stands well on its own, especially for such a big hefty figure. This is the one that if it falls, it'll break something in your collection. So it's nice to know that it has that stability on the joints. But overall, beautiful recreation of what we saw on screen. If you're not a fan of what you saw on screen, then this is clearly not a figure for you. But if you did like this iteration of the character, and you do like the Hulk's journey through the movie, and you do want to collect all the figures from the line, Hot Toys did a great job recreating that from the screen. And then from, like I said, from posability perspective, he's not very restrictive by the suit, which is great. But you're not going to have him jumping or in the air, right? You're going to have him holding the tablet, or you're going to have him in a museum pose. He holds the tablet really well, scales nicely. I really do like the glasses. Hot Toys does warn you to not have them on permanently because they'll smudge off. Right? Live once. While I'd like to not do that, that's how I want to display the figure. So it's like, I appreciate the warning. If it happens, it happens, but that's how I want the figure to show up. And then for me, the highlight is, again, it's having those gauntlets, right? Having him in that moment when he's going to snap people back into existence. He had lots of memorable things in the movie, especially when Ant-Man comes back as a baby and he thinks that's a success. But to me, this is the defining moment for Hulk in Avengers Endgame, right? This is his hero moment where he brings everybody back into existence. So there are definitely opportunities to display this figure in different ways. I'm kind of doing my own version here where he's got the glove, he's got the glasses on, and he's got the tablet. We know that's not how he showed up in the movie, but to me, it shows off some of the accessories and it looks nice in the display. So overall, very happy with this figure. I think it turned out great. I know it's not everyone's favorite character. It's not my favorite version of the Hulk, but it's a great rendition of what we saw on screen. So I think Hot Toys did a great job with this one. So let me know your thoughts and we'll touch base on the next one.